That one was very exciting. All right, Cannibal Ian. Like, it's very weird to say. Just walk him down there like this. That way. But they also put it on the top of the stick. It looks so hot.
So why do we do it? Because despite all of our differences, love is what we share. It's what we all share. It's what you share. It's the great unifier. It's the one thing that we've all experienced in some form, present company excluded, and know to be true. We all have our own love stories. Some are short, some are long, some are unwritten, while others are just getting to the good part. There's going to be chapters in your story that'll be sad or disappointing, but when all is said and done, we know that we can all reflect and look back and say that it was exciting and full of adventure. So my point is this. We've all loved in our lifetimes, and in this moment, we're reminded at this moment today that the ability to love is the peak of our humanity. And that's why we're here today. So that's why you both are standing here. And that's why you're all here watching us stand here. So I asked Ian and Becca how they would define a good marriage. And I got a couple responses. Some were serious, and some were not. But I'd like to share with you a few of my favorites. So first, marriage lets you annoy one special person for the rest of your life. Marriage is a choice for two people on separate paths to choose to walk together toward the same destination. Marriage is not simple. It's hard work on a daily basis. And marriage is not a repair shop. You cannot expect your partner to fix your hoopty, but you know that they will. I wonder who wrote that one. It's picking out your partner's outfits when they're fashion impaired. It's doing the chores you hate. It's doing the chores you hate because you know they hate them more. It's seeing someone at their worst and still loving them for it. Marriage is liking different snacks so the other person won't steal them. I think I know who wrote that one too. Marriage is having someone to put your cold feet on. Marriage is about becoming a team and spending the rest of your life learning about each other. But most of all, marriage is realizing that the other person may not be perfect, but that they're perfect for you. So Becca and Ian, we're all here with you because we want you to have those moments. We're here to hope with you, support you, be proud of you, and to remind you that love is not happily ever after, but love is the experience of your story. And for those of you that know me, the ones that do know me, you know that I'm not really qualified to provide advice on what a happy and successful marriage may provide. And that's typically what someone at this point in the ceremony would do. But I'm not qualified to do that, so I'm not going to try. But what I am qualified to do is share with you a couple things that I think are my favorite parts of who you are, and what I think makes you work together as a partnership very well. And I'd like to do that. So Ian, I'm going to start with you. You're an enigma. In the good way. You're complex, you're goofy, and you're surprisingly spry. You like to pretend that you hate people, but we all know. Okay, that one's true. Yeah. But here's what I value the most about you. It's what I think Becca values the most about you too. It's that you're there. You're dependable. You're bedrock. When you say you're going to do something, it gets done eventually. Eventually. When someone or something is in trouble, you're there. It doesn't matter if it's a stranger or if it's a friend. When a team needs to be led, you're there. You're there for them. When I can't figure out the right thing to do next, when I need to laugh, you're there for me. And I love you for it. You're like a brother to me. You are by far the most loyal person I know. And I know that you're going to support Becca. I know that you're going to eat everything she bakes for you. You're going to listen to her in your own way. And you're going to build a fantastic life together. And I know that you won't let her down, because you'll be there. We're going to get through this. Becca, you take Ian out of his comfort zone. You are the yin to his yang. And those closest to you, the lady standing behind you, they say that you've got a sixth sense for being there, exactly when you're needed most, even if it's just through a quick text. You're honest, you're direct, and you're always there with advice. Right? And you care so much about your family. You're so proud of them that you can't help but brag to anyone who knows you. You put your loved ones before you, and you dedicate yourself to their betterment. And I know you're going to bring this unwavering dedication to your marriage to Ian. And beside all that, you are absolutely hilarious. You make me laugh. You made some of us laugh just now. And you are truly special. And I'm so happy that we've met. And honestly, more than any couple I've met, the both of you are a partnership. You each have your strengths. You each have your quirks. And sometimes your energies can be polar opposites. But what I really respect is that both of you have found common ground. You've found a way to give each other space, but still enjoy and experience those shared moments. And I think that's special. You strengthen each other. You definitely take each other out of their comfort zones, and you love each other. Offer them your continued love and support, and promise to uphold them in their marriage. Thank you. Thank you. You may be seated. Proud of each other and forgive one another? Will you speak to one another with kindness and compassion and listen with an open mind and open heart? Will you laugh with one another? No doubt about that. Go on adventures together and find new reasons to love each other every day? Will you be honest about the health of your marriage? Will you always hold kindness for each other even if you realize the most loving choice is to grow in different directions? Will you be each other's partners from this day forward? Will you bring out the best in one another, share your happiest moments together, and love each other absolutely for the rest of this lifetime and whatever may come next? Excellent. So this is the point in the ceremony where we usually talk about wedding bands being a perfect circle with no beginning or end. This ring is your promise to accept Becca's imperfections and to recognize her beauty. Please place this ring on her finger. All right, Becca, this ring is your promise to accept Ian's imperfections and to recognize his beauty. Please place this ring on his finger. Thank you. Over there. Becca and Ian, you've come here today of your own free will. Right? All right, good. Becca and Ian, you've come here today of your own free will. And in the presence of family and friends, you've declared your love and commitment to one another. You've expressed your intent to be with each other in sickness and in health. You've created the foundation of your shared roots together. You've given and received a ring as a symbol of your promise to each other. So without further ado, by the power of your love and commitment to each other, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Now kiss. Woo!
That's not mine. Okay. The answer's always no. Just never know. It was more of an alcohol. Straight liquor.
He's like, oh, really?
Oh,
Sorry, I swear you took some
grilled chicken.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
So last
Sorry,
week
putting on
was great for
balloons.
you.
Oh, no, I mean, you're sweaty.
And I normally love
When I
it.
get ready for work, I have to wait till right after she leaves to spritz it and head out.
So he's like, well, did she ask about me? I said, yep, she did. I said, you need to give this girl a call. So he was a little gun shy in the beginning about the whole thing, and I think I called him like 2 times after that, and I think the 3rd time I ordered him to call her. And he said, I don't know, she didn't seem really interested. I said, no, she talked about you all the time. I said, give her a call. Now, a couple years later, here we are, and I stand before them at their wedding. And the reason I did that, to be quite honest with you, after my wife kept saying, you really want to do this? And I'm thinking, I don't normally listen any other time, so I'm not sure why you think I'm going to listen now. But Becca and Ian. Becca, I know you since you're real little, since your birth, okay? You have the most amazing parents who are very dear friends of mine. I know your heart, and I know what kind of person you are. And Ian, you and I became friends. We became really good friends. Quite frankly, you're one of the most solid individuals I know. And as anybody really knows me, I don't allow many people into that inner circle, but Ian, you're definitely there. You're the type of friend that shows up and holds my ceiling fans for 3 hours while I'm trying to wire it myself. You're the type of friend that when I'm packing my moving truck says, I'm the engineer, I know that's not going to fit. And you're very careful how you say it to me so it doesn't, deflate my ego, because I actually think it was going to fit. But I knew, Ian, that Becca was a good person with a solid heart. And I knew she would be wonderful for you. And vice versa. I knew you would be the protector for her, and I knew you were an amazing individual too. So I wish you nothing but the very, very best. Always, always, always. And thank you for allowing Laura and I to be a part of your day today. And that is the story about how Ian and Becca met.
This isn't really grace. This isn't sort of in the mood here. I'm going to say, Heavenly Father, we ask you for your blessings for Becca and Ian as they start on this journey through life. Friends and family have gathered to celebrate their marriage and fellowship with each other in this celebration. Be with us as we show them our friendship, our love, and our caring for them. Amen.
So I'm supposed to tell you now how dinner's going to work. So Laura's going to come along, she's going to dismiss you by table, and what you're going to do is you're going to go out here to the food truck and you're going to place your order. Now, don't expect that to be ready immediately because they prepare everything. From what I understand, it's supposed to be very wonderful. I know I'm looking forward to it. But you go out and place your order. While you're doing that, make a full circle and come back in. Hit the hors d'oeuvre table again, please get some drinks, that sort of thing. Okay. Takes between, I'm seeing 3 to 5 being held up, 3 to 5 minutes for your order to be ready. Then you can meander back out and pick up your order and please eat. Also, for those of you that didn't hear it, the bathrooms are located right up there. Back here is a sign-in map. They asked the private.
So one nice thing about having an older sister is they get to do everything before you. So they kind of get to test the waters before you get to do everything. And one thing Becca always got to do before me was wear all of my clothes because I always thought her hand. And if you know my mom, you know she loved to dress us in matching outfits as kids. So we got to wear them together, and then I got to wear them all a second time. Another thing Becca got to do first is she got to move out and live on her own first, and also second because she got to move back.
Technically, you've moved out and got home multiple times.
From college, it doesn't count. Congratulations, Becca and Ian. Now that you've been married and you're settled in together, that means the rights to Mom and Dad's basement have officially been passed on to me. This was a great weekend. I love you both and congratulations. Cheers to Becca and Ian.
Before I get started, I'd just like to thank the Moyers, the Gumberts, Ian, Becca, Chris and Laura for putting together such a wonderful evening. I know it was a lot of work and effort that went into this, and it came along great.
Love you too, Tanner. Great job.
And Tanner for putting on a wonderful ceremony. I'm sorry. I'd also like to thank Becca and Ian personally for giving me the honor and speaking of their behalf on their big day, and for trusting me enough not to embarrass myself too much. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Frank. Ian and I met freshman year of college at Grove City, and we studied engineering together. Throughout all 4 years, we lived together, we roomed, we were either roommates or we were next door neighbors. And when you live with someone for 4 years within a 10-yard proximity, you kind of get to know them pretty well. Now there's an old saying that goes, those who go through times of great trauma often share a great bond that most people don't have. And I'll tell you what, that's what Grove City Engineering was.
Everyone at that table will agree.
Yes. There were many days and nights that Ian and I spent doing homework, studying for quizzes, tests, and often joking about how we skewed the grading curve, unfortunately to the downside. But we made it through. And I couldn't have done it really without Ian's friendship. It really helped me get through those tough times. And just one story in particular that I love telling everybody that I know. I'll never forget the day I was coming back, summer of senior year. Ian and I had 2 singles right next to each other. Ian's already packed and he's unpacked and he's in his room. He comes running up to me and he goes, Frank, you gotta come see this. And I said, Ian, what? And it was only just me there within 5 minutes. I said, what could he have possibly found? So he takes me into his room, leads me to this wall with a tiny panel inside and opens it up with a big smirk on his face that we all know Ian has. And he opens it up, and inside were 2 pipes with 2 valves, one colored red, one colored blue. I looked at Ian, I said, Ian, is this what I think it is? And he belts out laughing in hysterics. It's the hot and cold water control valves to the community showers. I knew right then and there that this was going to be trouble. And by trouble, I mean a lot of fun. So that's how we spent senior year, was tormenting everybody on our hall, wildly changing the temperatures on the shower, hot to cold, or just shutting off the water altogether, only to hear their screams from the other side of the wall, which was met with laughter from our end. But I'll tell you what, that is just a big testament to who Ian is as a person. He's extremely... Enjoy, Becca. He's extremely hardworking, as shown by his academic and professional successes. And as Tanner so well mentioned before and stole my thunder there, he's someone who's very generous and caring with his time. He's always there for you. Just as he was for Tanner, he was there for me. If I ever needed help, ever had questions, ever needed just someone to listen, that needed to listen to, he was always there for me. One thing that I do want to talk about is whenever he was playing Xbox Live with us. And yes. Yes. So the way we kept in touch was we played Xbox Live together and we liked playing video games. So all of a sudden he stopped appearing. He was no longer on anymore. And I often wondered, where's he going? And then he started to tell me about his date nights with a girl named Becca. And the fact that he was telling me this, since he loves to share so many personal things, as he does, I knew this had to be very serious. So, did you not know this?
I like you a little more.
I already liked you. Did you not like me?
I said a little more. She didn't say now I like you.
So after I got to meet Becca, I could see why Ian was so enamored with her. They both share a very common set of characteristics. They're both very caring, generous people with their time. They're both very proud of their friends and family. And most importantly, they both share that particular set of humor that gets you through the long days and nights. So, in closing, Becca, what I'd like to say is, most women have to worry about cleaning up after their husbands. Your biggest concern is going to be trying to find what it is you're looking for after Ian's already cleaned it and put it away. And Ian,
Just put stuff in weird places.
It makes
sense to me.
And Ian, I love you like a brother, even though I never had one. As soon as Tanner said that, I had that plan. But I love you like a brother. Your friendships meant so much to me. You've always been there for me. I'll always be there for you. I wish you and Becca nothing but the best. So if everyone would raise your glasses, cups, mugs.